Bathtub meditation, take one. All right, coming to a comfortable spot, potentially sitting cross-legged if that's available to you. Sitting with a straight back with your feet on the floor in a chair is also a great option. Let's take a few moments to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Open and close the jaw a few times. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. 2 more times like that. Deep breath in. Open the mouth. 1 more time like that. Deep breath in. And then just settling into a rhythm of your breath that feels natural and unforced. This camera angle doesn't allow for you to see my hands, but let's do a quick Asta Mudra before we settle into the rest of our meditation this morning. So you can take your hands and have your thumb connect with your ring finger. This Asta Mudra represents vitality. And then I'm just going to flip my palms up and rest the backs of my hands on my knees. Elbows are soft, nothing forced. Taking a moment to just journey inward. And by that I mean just scanning what kind of sensations are happening in the body. And as much as meditation is about paying attention to the mind, let's take some time here to pay attention to what thoughts are kind of bubbling up to the surface this morning. The important thing is to address them and then choose to not get caught up in that narrative any longer. Choose to separate yourself from that. And since I'm sitting in a bathtub, I'm drawn to the idea of water. So let's imagine ourselves sitting behind a waterfall. The water rushing down in front of us in full view are like our thoughts. Let's just watch them. Notice that they pass quickly. Continue in this way, imagining sitting behind a waterfall, comfortable at peace in nature, and then letting your eyes just rest on the flowing water in front of you, and allowing that to be a representation of thoughts, letting them just flow on. Returning back to this nature of being the observer of the thoughts. So you're sitting behind the waterfall, but you're not the water falling. In that way we observe that our thoughts are not us. We're the observer of our thoughts. And in that way, we can allow ourselves to train to let go of thoughts. Sometimes those might come up in the form of negative self-imagery, limiting beliefs. Getting in touch with your true nature, that observer, and letting the thoughts that don't serve you, the self-image that doesn't serve you, and the limiting beliefs that don't serve you, just let them go. Let's practice doing that now. Just a few moments here in silence. depending on the acoustics, you might be able to hear me breathe. I'm inviting the Ujjayi breath. I invite you to do the same. When the mind wanders away from that Ujjayi breath or away from that waterfall, bring it back. Try to recall a time that you've been in the presence of a waterfall, maybe even the pool of the waterfall, maybe even underneath that waterfall. Call that back to mind now. Perhaps you felt on some level cleansed by the rushing water, cleansed by the cool sensation of the water on the skin. Let this waterfall meditation leave you feeling cleansed. With that infinite knowledge, knowing that we are the observer of our thoughts rather than the thoughts themselves. Let's gently begin to bring our hands together at heart center, thumbs grazing into the breastbone. And then dropping the chin toward the chest and pausing here for a moment, perhaps calling to mind an intention for the rest of your day today, a word, a phrase. And seal that intention by just bowing into yourself. And then we'll lift our face, we'll lift our gaze, and release the practice. Namaste. Hopefully these acoustics were a bit better for you today. I will continue to fine tune it. Until then, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for sticking with the practice. And